Welcome, and I'm so glad you could be here for Slow Flow Yoga. We'll see what happens with technology today. Hopefully, it will cooperate. So this week's theme is Ahimsa. In yogic philosophy, there are 8 branches of yoga, and the branch of Hatha Yoga, or the movement aspect, is just one of the 8 limbs of the limb that we practice. But I try to weave in some of the other philosophy in the beginning of class usually. So one of the first branches is the yamas and niyamas, which are kind of the philosophical and behavioral things to live by, to have a good yogic life. And ahimsa is the first node or little branch off of the main branch. And it is having compassion and kindness and tolerance for yourself and others. So it's really, the basis of it is this idea of non-harming and non-violence. And that includes right speech, right behavior, and right thought. So ahimsa for yourself could mean not being critical. I always use that example in yoga because it's easy to admonish yourself in your head if you're not getting a pose right or something's not working, but having a sense of humor about it, being okay with whatever happens, is a way of showing ahimsa, or compassion towards yourself. And so in our centering this morning, this noon, we'll start with a lotus mudra. We've done these hand mudras before. And as I've talked about, when we move our bodies in a certain way, especially crossing different sides and making connections with our hands to our body, it creates new neural connections and actually activates different parts of the brain and physiology. So the ahimsa, this is not ahimsa, this is just the lotus position, but it's about drawing inspiration from the perseverance of the lotus flower and this idea of rising above the muck and mud of your environment. And when we think of what's going on out in the world and the news, it's not like we can detach ourselves from it completely. We are part of the world, but we can lift ourselves up above it so that we can have a more, objective perspective on things. So this just symbolizes that and helps with that. It also symbolizes the light of the crown chakra, which is supposed to be our connection to the higher realms, our higher self, our infinite knowledge. So you're welcome to take Lotus Mudra during our centering. I was going to walk us through a simple meditation, visual meditation, before we get moving. So I welcome you to take a comfortable seat, whatever that is for you. And you can sit cross-legged, or your legs can be out long, you can be kneeling, sitting on a cushion, whatever will feel good for the next 4 minutes or so. So when you find your comfortable seat, sit up tall, the crown of your head reaching toward the ceiling. And I welcome you to close your eyes or take a soft gaze toward the mat. And you can either keep your hands on your lap with your palms down to preserve your energy, or palms up to absorb more energy. And or you can bring your hands into Lotus Mudra. But if that gets to be too tiring or boring or achy, you can always move back to hands on your lap. So with your eyes closed or taking a gentle gaze toward the mat, just begin to bring your attention to your breath. Don't try to change it or judge it in any way. Just let your breath be, but let it also be the focus, your focus. And just focusing on your breath as other thoughts or sensations, other distractions from the environment come into your awareness, just acknowledge them and let them go and come back to your breath. if I didn't give you a good description of the lotus mudra, your thumbs and pinkies are connected and the rest of your fingers are spread out wide. The base of your hands are together like a flower. Begin to slow your breath down just a little bit. To start to bring some of that relaxation response into your body, calming your nervous system. And it doesn't have to be super slow breath, just slow enough to start to notice your body relaxing. Bring your attention to the base of your spine. And imagine a beautiful ruby red light at the base of your spine, the center of your root chakra, which is associated with a sense of stability, safety, security, a feeling of being home. And as you breathe into that light, imagine the light growing bigger and brighter. It's okay if you can't actually see the light, just imagine it's there, growing, expanding throughout your body, giving you those senses of safety and security, a sense of home. And bring your attention up to the area just below your belly button, your sacral chakra, which is a seat of creativity, generativity. Imagine a beautiful orange light there, sunburst orange light. And again, as you breathe in, imagine the light growing bigger and stronger, expanding out in all directions, filling you with that sense of creativity. Then bring your attention up to just above your belly button, seat of your solar plexus chakra, which is associated with your personal power, your personal strength, your personal agency. And imagine a brilliant golden yellow light in the middle of your stomach. And again, each inhale helps to expand and grow that light, expanding it all around you and through you. And bring your attention up to the center of your chest, the heart chakra, which is associated with love and compassion for yourself and others. And imagine a beautiful emerald green light there. And grow that light with your breath, once again, expanding it out in all directions, filling your body with that beautiful emerald green light. And draw your attention up to your throat, seated the throat chakra, and imagine a gorgeous turquoise light in your throat. And the throat chakra is associated with speaking your truth, with communication, and with I can't remember the third one, but that's the idea. Communication and vocalization of what is going on with you and what your truth is. And expand that light out and around. Then bring your attention up to the middle of your forehead, the seat of your third eye. And envision a gorgeous indigo light there. It's a deep purpley blue indigo light. And as I say every week, that's a seat of intuition and knowledge and wisdom. So breathe into that light, expanding it throughout your head and around you and through your body. And bring your attention just above your head to the crown chakra. And imagine a beautiful violet light, this beautiful, brilliant purple light. And that crown chakra is the seat of your higher wisdom, your higher knowledge, the part of you that can tap into the infinite banks of wisdom, infinite possibility, the divine. And grow that light As you breathe into the light, imagine that violet becoming brighter and brighter and brighter, like a sun, almost too bright to look at, but something that you can just sense. And it becomes so bright that it becomes this beautiful diamond white light. And then imagine the light expanding upward as well as all around you. And as the light expands upward, it begins to grow petals like a lotus flower with 1,000 petals, which is a yogic image for the higher self, the crown chakra. And imagine those petals expanding out and then starting to just sprinkle bits of light, almost like a rain shower of light coming down from your petals all over you, all around you, filling you and surrounding you with that gorgeous light. Just take a moment to notice how it feels. And then come back to your breath for just a couple of seconds. And bring your hands together at heart center. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, something you'd like for yourself, somebody you love, or your community or the world, you can set that right now. Carry it with you during your practice today. And then when you're ready, release your hands down to your lap and slowly open your eyes. Sitting up tall, we'll start with some torso circles. So in Kundalini, they call them divine grinds. I also heard them called Sufi circles. So drawing big circles with the top of your head, long, tall back. Bringing the energy up your spine and breathing with the movement. And then reverse the circles. Keep breathing. And then come to stillness. Inhale, reach your arms way up high. Then bring your right hand down to the mat and reach over with your left arm, taking a side bend, keeping both hips evenly rooted into the mat. Maybe looking up under that left arm, if that feels okay on your neck. And then inhale up to center and exhale to the left. Reach over with your right arm, feeling that stretch down your right side body. Again, keeping the hips rooted down, keeping the right shoulder open, maybe looking up under it. And then come on back to center. Exhale your right hand down, reach over. Maybe bending the elbow this time to get deeper into the stretch, if that feels good. Back up to center and over to the left. Again, maybe bending the left elbow, keeping that right shoulder open. And then back to center, reach up and exhale, twist to the right. And as you inhale, maybe sitting up a little taller and maybe exhaling and twisting a little deeper, if that feels good. Keep breathing. And then back to center and exhale to the other side. Sitting up tall, and again, maybe inhaling a little taller and exhaling a little deeper. We're not ever going too deeply. We're just starting off with our twists. And then come back to center and fold forward with a flat back. Arms reaching out in front of you. And then let your neck relax. Feel a stretch in your back and a bit in your hips. Breathe into your back. And then walk your hands back towards your knees. And make your way on into tabletop. So your shoulders are aligned over your wrists and your hips over your knees, and begin to take some cat-cows. arching and lowering your back, breathing with the movement, matching the inhales and the exhales with the arching and lowering of your back in whatever way feels right for your body. And then come to stillness and begin to wag our tails, bending to one side and the next, taking a look over your shoulder towards your hip, bending side to side, warming up the spine. And then come to stillness and inhale your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, draw that arm under your opposite shoulder, coming down onto your right shoulder and thread the needle. And an option to walk your left hand forward toward the front of the mat for a bit of a stretch. And if your arm's extended, bring it back under your shoulder, and then on the inhale, lift your right arm up again, swooping it up toward the sky, and exhale it down. Inhale your left arm up, and exhale, thread the needle on the side, bring the left shoulder onto the mat. Arm reaching through. An option to walk your right hand to the front of the mat, get a stretch on this side. Bring your hand back under your shoulder, and on the inhale, lift up, reach up with that left arm, opening up to the side, and exhale it down. Take a couple more cat-cows for good measure. And then extend your right leg back, toes touching the mat, heel reaching back. Then cross that leg over your left leg. Look back over your left shoulder towards your right foot, feeling a nice stretch here. And then bring that leg back, extend the left leg back, toes touching the mat, heel reaching back. And then cross your left leg over your right and look out over your right shoulder towards your left foot. And bring that leg back. And extend your right leg long behind you. One more time. This time, leg is parallel to the mat. Option to raise your left arm up into the air. Thumb reaching toward the ceiling, palm open, taking balancing tabletop. Draw your belly button towards your spine to engage the core. And then release down. Check your alignment and then extend your left leg back. Leg parallel to the ground, toes pointing downward, and extend your right arm out, thumb facing the ceiling for balancing tabletop on this side. And again, engaging the core for stability, reaching in both directions, and then release everything down. Take a couple more cat-cows. And then come to stillness, tuck your toes, straighten your knees, lift your hips, making your way into downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet and shake your head yes and no, warming up your downward dog. Come to stillness and look towards your hands and walk your feet up towards your hands, coming to a forward fold, bending your knees as much as you need to get your torso onto your thighs. Then grab opposite elbows and take a ragdoll, swinging from the hips, crown of your head reaching down toward the floor. Feeling that beautiful stretch in your back. And release your hands down and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Reach up, palms together, and exhale, hands to heart center. Then inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on your shins and your torso parallel to the mat. Then exhale your hands down, step your right foot back, coming to your right knee. Inhale your arms up for low lunge. Exhale your hands down, step the front foot back, coming into tabletop. Press back to child's pose for just a moment. Then draw your chest through your arms. Extend your legs back, coming into cobra. Then tuck your toes, lift your knees and your hips, make your way into downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward this time, left knee comes to the mat. Inhale, reach up, low lunge on this side. Exhale, hands frame the front foot, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee and step the back foot to meet the front. And inhale, slowly roll up, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do one more round of that, inhaling up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step your left foot back, coming onto your knee for low lunge on this side. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, hands come down, frame the front foot. Make your way into tabletop and sit back into child's pose. Then come forward, bring the chest through the arms, making your way into cobra. And tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Step the left leg forward, right knee comes to the mat. Inhale, reach up, low lunge. And exhale, hands frame the front foot, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, and step the back foot to meet the front. And roll up, rise up for mountain, extended mountain pose. Arms reaching into the air. Then bring your right hand to your right leg and reach over with your left arm as you slide your right hand down your leg, taking a standing side bend. Inhale up to center and exhale the left arm to the left leg. Reach over with your right arm. And back to center. One more time to the right. Maybe bringing that right hand farther down your leg, maybe extending the left hip out a little more for a deeper bend. Totally optional. And back up to center. Left hand to left leg, sliding that hand down, maybe a little further, maybe jutting the right hip out if that feels like something you want to do today. And then inhale up to center and exhale your hands to heart center. We're going to do something called standing twist. So you're welcome to do this on your mat, or you can lean up against a wall or a table. We're going to do a few standing poses that are really simple, but they're surprisingly awkward. So feel free to use something to lean on. So we're going to begin on the right leg. And so those sitting twists that we do, where we are sitting down and twist one side, we're going to do that standing up. So you'll shift your weight into your right leg, feeling really grounded in the right leg. Lift your kneecap and engage your quadricep. And then begin to lift the left knee up. You can crane pose, so it's like at a 90-degree angle. And then bring your right hand to the outside of your left knee and extend your left arm back and out. And maybe follow your gaze toward that left hand. And come on back to center. and release your leg. Then shift into your left leg and engage the kneecap. Engage the quadricep, lift the kneecap, plant that left foot into the mat, and lift up your right foot. Again, walls and tables are perfectly legit for this. And then bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee and open your right arm out to the side. And take a twist to the right, maybe following your gaze toward your right hand. Come on back to center and release. Step your feet apart. We'll take some empty coat sleeves to let loose after all that concentrating. And come to stillness. And with your feet still apart, interlace your fingers and bring them behind your head, elbows out to the side. Begin to fold forward from your hips with a flat back. And when you're halfway down, allow your elbows to point toward the ground and maybe draw the top of your head toward the mat. And you can move your feet wider apart if you need to, and definitely put a slight bend in your knees if you need to, so you don't lock out your knees. And use your hands as a lightweight to draw your head toward the mat. Feeling a nice stretch in the backs of your legs and your back and your shoulders. And then release your hands down onto the mat under your chest and plant your right hand on the mat as you inhale your left arm up, taking a twist to the side. And then lower your hand and inhale to the other side. Release your hand down. Bring your hands to your hips and rise up with a flat back. And then bring your feet together. Coming back into mountain pose position. And inhale your arms up for extended mountain pose and really feel planted and stable in your feet. Your feet are a comfortable distance apart under your hips. And then begin to sit back into chair pose. Shifting your weight into your heels. You should be able to wiggle your toes. And your arms can be up by your ears, or you can bring your hands to heart center or to goal post, whatever feels right for your body today. And then if your hands are out, bring them to heart center. You're going to straighten the knees and bend forward. And then sit back into chair, shifting the weight onto the heels. And fold forward. Shift back. Forward. And back. And one last time, fold forward. And sit back. And you can stay here in chair, or if you'd like, you can begin to lift your heels and sit back onto your heels with a long, tall back, going into a kind of floating chair pose. And you can either stay in chair or you can stay in floating chair, and we'll begin to twist to the right. So it's a little awkward in floating chair, but it can be done. Bringing the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And come back to center and twist to the other side. Coming back to center, and we'll all rise up, maybe on your toes, and lower down. Yay. And inhale, reach up. On the exhale, step your right foot back to warrior one. So your front knee's bent and your back foot is on a 45-degree angle. Your hips are both facing the front of the mat. Your big toe is visible and the weight is on the outer edge of that back foot. Bring your hands to heart center in lotus mudra. Just take a couple of breaths here. And then reach up, warrior one. Open your arms up as you pivot your right foot so it's parallel with the back of the mat, coming into warrior two. Looking out over your front fingers, making sure your front toe is visible still. And the weight is on the outer edge of your back foot. Flip the front palm, reach up with that hand as you reach back with your right hand. Right hand coming into your thigh or waist or opposite hip. Coming into exalted warrior. And pivot your arms back to warrior two. And bend the front forearm, bring that forearm to the front thigh as you reach over with your right arm for side angle. And you can stay like this, or option to open that lower arm so it's pressing against the inside of the left calf. And pivot your arms back to warrior two. And then straighten your front knee, pivot your front foot so both feet are parallel. Then reach up, taking a V with your arms for 5-pointed star. Then begin to shift your weight into your right leg as your left foot comes up. Taking a balancing star. Gently release your left foot back down. Pivot the left foot, bend that knee, coming back into warrior two. And then drop your arms, step the back foot to meet the front, coming into mountain pose one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, your left foot back for warrior one on this side. Hands come to lotus mudra if you'd like. Check to make sure your big toe is visible, front knee's bent. Back foot is on that slight 45-degree angle and both hips facing the front of the mat. Warrior one. And then open your arms up to the side as you pivot your left foot, taking warrior two on this side. And flip your front palm and reach up as you reach back with your left hand, taking not humble warrior, exalted warrior on this side. And pivot your arms back to warrior two. Bend the front forearm, bring it to the front thigh as you reach over for side angle. And again, option to bring that lower arm down in front of your lower calf if you'd like. Pivot your arms back to warrior two. And then straighten the front knee, pivot your right foot so that both feet are parallel to the mat once again. Reach your arms up for 5-pointed star. And then begin to shift the weight into your left leg this time. Lifting up the right leg, taking balancing star on the side. Slowly lower that leg back down. Pivot your right foot, make your way back into warrior two. And then lower your arms and step the back foot to meet the front, coming into mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up one more time. Reach up and bring your hands together at heart center in mountain pose. We're going to do one more balancing pose. Today we've had a lot of balancing poses because balance is good in one's life. You can shift your weight into your right leg once again, feeling that right foot planted, quadricep engaged, knee lifted. And then bring your left ankle on top of your right thigh. And again, you're welcome to use a table or a wall for balance if you need it. Balance is different on each side of our bodies and different from day to day. So you can stay like this in a standing figure four or balancing figure four. If you'd like a little extra challenge, you can begin to sit down, bringing your elbows to the inside of your knee and foot. Rise back up, release your leg, let the blood come back into that right leg. You can shake it out or you can just let, let everything reset. And then shift your weight into your left leg, planting that foot, engaging the quadricep, lifting the knee, hands to heart center, and cross your right ankle over your left thigh for figure four on this side. An option to stay here or begin to bend down, bringing the elbows to that lower leg and upper leg. Rise back up, release your leg, breathe a sigh of relief. And from the top of your mat, inhale, reach up, exhale, fold, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step back to tabletop, and press back into child's pose, any form that feels good for you. Walk your hands back towards your knees. And for those of you who've taken my class before, you know this pose and you know that it hurts the first time you do it, but it gets better each time you do it, and then it's really good for you. So it's called toe bend pose or thunderbolt pose. And come up into a kneeling position, tuck your toes under, and then sit back onto them. And feel free to back off of this as needed because it is really intense the first time you do it. But it's a really, really great way to stretch and release the fascia, the connective tissue that runs through much of your body, under your skin and over your muscles. It kind of is the stuff that holds everything together. Anyway, the fascia can get knotted up with lack of movement, and the fascia on the bottom of our feet, because it's attached to our entire body, it can be associated with migraines, shoulder pain, backache, all sorts of things. So by stretching it out, it can relieve like surprising things in other areas of your body that you think are unrelated, but it's all attached. So as uncomfortable as this can be, it's a really good thing to do regularly. And again, you can back off as needed because it does feel really disgusting the first couple times you do it. But I encourage you to give it a try whenever you can. And then roll forward and tap the tops of your feet. One thing you can do while you're doing thunderbolt pose is to, I can sit back onto your heels now. Tapping the top of your feet feels surprisingly good when you do that, and sitting on your feet too afterwards can feel really good. And one thing you can do while you're doing thunderbolt pose is do these arm kind of things, and that distracts you from the fact that you're sitting on your feet. That hurts. Then spin your legs out in front of you, coming into staff pose, sitting up tall, feet flexed, hands by your side, and just take a couple of deep breaths here. And while this seems like a pretty docile pose, there's a lot going on. There are so many muscles being activated just in this really simple pose. Then inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, fold forward and just let your hands fall wherever they may. And it doesn't have to be a deep fold. Your hands can come to your shins, your ankles, your toes, whatever is accessible for you. And wherever your hands are, draw the crown of your head forward to get a bit of a stretch in your back. And then allow your neck to relax. Then rise back up to a seated pose. Bend your right knee and hug it in. Left leg is long, foot is flexed. And then step that right foot over your left leg, sitting up tall. You can keep your left leg long, or you can bend that knee, bring it in towards your body. Bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Raise your right arm up and take a twist, an open twist to the side. Take one more stretch. Come back to center and unfurl your legs. Both legs long again. Hug your left knee in this time and cross that left foot over your right leg. Option to leave your right leg long or bend the knee and bring your foot in towards your body. Use your right hand, leveraging it on the outside of your left knee, and raise your left arm up. Twist open to the side. An open twist to your left, sitting up tall and breathing into the twist. And then back to center. Extend your legs long. And then bend your knees, feet flat on the mat. Bring your hands behind your thighs, leaning back at a 45-degree angle. Then bring your shins parallel to the mat, coming into a modified boat position. Maybe bring your hands out to the sides, palms up. Maybe straighten your legs. Keep breathing, keep lifting the chest. And then release your legs down, give them a little hug. And we'll do that one more time. Coming back into modified boat or boat. And then slowly lower yourself down onto your back. Bring your legs up in the air so your feet are facing toward the ceiling. Reach your hands up. Tuck your thumbs in and wrap your fingers around your thumbs and begin to draw some circles with your ankles and wrists. And then reverse the circles. Come to stillness and bring your feet down onto the mat. Feet flat and knees bent. Walk your feet in towards your hips. Setting up for bridge pose. Begin to lift the hips up toward the ceiling, drawing your knees together as if you're trying to hold something between them. And keep lifting and drawing the knees together. Option to interlace your fingers under your back. walking your arms under your shoulder blades. Keep lifting. And then if you're in the bind, release your bind, and everyone slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. Walk your feet apart and windshield wiper your legs. Then come to stillness. Walk your feet back towards your hips. Take one more bridge pose. Arms by your side, palms down. Lift the hips up. Keep lifting, keep drawing the knees together. Optional bind. Keep lifting. You should be feeling this mostly in the fronts of your thighs. And if you're in the bind, release the bind, and everyone slowly roll down. Walk the feet out. Windshield wiper your legs. And bring your feet back and cross your right ankle over your left thigh, taking a supine pigeon or supine figure four. You reach through, grabbing the back of your left thigh and hug that leg into your body with your back flat on the mat. You can have your left knee bent or straight, the leg be straight, whatever feels better. Just take a moment here in this supine figure four. And then release your hands out to the side and draw your right foot over to your left side, taking a supine figure four twist. And if this feels too weird, if it feels too uncomfortable, you can always untwist your legs. And bring your legs back to center, uncross your ankle, and cross your left ankle over your right thigh this time for figure four here. Lift your leg, reach through, grab the back of your right thigh. And again, your right knee can be bent or straight for this supine figure four. And release your hands to the side and draw the left foot over to your right side and look out over your left arm for a supine figure four twist on this side. Again, option to do whatever you need to do with your legs to feel comfortable. Bring your legs back to center and uncross your legs, extending your legs long, and bring your arms along your sides, palms facing down, and come up onto your forearms. We're setting up for modified fish pose. And for those of you who haven't been in my classes, modified or fish pose in Sanskrit is also known as destroyer of all diseases pose. So we've been doing this for the last 4 months, almost. So bring your hands under your lower back if you like full fish pose, or have them on to the sides for modified. For modified, your arms are along your side and your head is just parallel to the mat. Toes are pointing, and your knees can be bent too, but I find it more comfortable to have my legs long. That's the fuller expression of the legs. So for a full fish pose, you bring your hands under your lower back and arch your chest up as you bring the top of your head onto the mat, taking a back bend here, a little back bend. Destroying all the diseases. Then make your way back up. Release your hands out from under you. Coming down onto your back, take a full body stretch, reaching your arms overhead, reaching your toes away from you. And then release your hands by your sides, let your legs come apart slightly, and allow yourself to completely relax into the mat. Maybe moving your jaw from side to side to release any final tension. And we will take a 4-minute Shavasana, and I will bring you out with my voice when it's time. So just enjoy your relaxation time. can begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Circle your ankles and wrists, bringing movement back into your body. Move your head side to side. And take a full body stretch. And hug your knees in towards your chest. And gently roll over to your favorite side, coming into a fetal position with using your arm as a pillow. What if we shifted our intention to simply taking the time to be with ourselves in a nurturing, non-judgmental way? What if we decided just to be present without an agenda, with our bodies and minds just as they are? When you're ready, you can begin to make your way back up to an easy seated position, eyes closed or taking a gentle gaze toward the mat. And bring your hands together at heart center, thumb knuckles touching your chest. And take a moment to thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. If you set an intention in the beginning of the class, you can take a moment to revisit it. And bringing your thumb knuckles up to the center of your forehead, seat of the third eye and center of intuition and knowledge. The light and love in me honors and respects and sees the light and love in all of you. Thank you for being here today. Namaste. Thank you.